in New York, where they are counting down the days to October and the postseason. The Mets have won 8 straight. The Marlins and the Mets in Game 2. Big line, Shake Shack. The place to go at Citi Field. A little Marlin fan look. Nicely done on email and Twitter Tuesday. Good evening from New York. Rich Waltz along with Tommy Hutton. Watching the Mets last night, watching them last week, it looks like they might not lose until 2016.
Well, they certainly have the rotation as far as some young arms. They've got a solid lineup and a terrific bench. They've made some moves to bring in some veterans who really give Terry Collins lots of depth.
And young players, new names like Cespedes, that great rotation. But last night, it was an old favorite that had 2 big hits, and that's David Wright.
You know, David Wright, they're happy to have their captain back off the disabled list. He had a couple of doubles in the ball game last night. The second one came in the 7th inning, and it was a game-winning RBI for the captain. In his career against the Marlins, 176 games, 326 average, 26 home runs, and 120 RBIs.
On the mound in this one for the Fish, it's Tom Kohler, New York native. Obviously, he'd love to beat the New York teams. Hasn't had great success against the Mets, but this last time out, 2 starts ago, he pitched well.
Yeah, I think his last start and his start before, against the Mets, you see the numbers. He has really had command of all of his pitches, slider, curveball, fastball, a few changeups. Against the Mets, here at Citi Field is where he has struggled, but I'll tell you what, if he throws the way he has the last 2 starts, everything will be okay.
For the Mets, blah, 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 talk about Matt Harvey, blah, blah. This is the guy, right? This is your Game 1 starter.
Hey, I'm not going to disagree. Last 20 starts for DeGrom, he's 10-3 with a 2.08 ERA. But the Mets, during those 20 starts, are 15-5.
All right, I'm glad we've got that settled. It's DeGrom and it's Kohler. Hey, before the ball game, Christian Yelich. Wait a minute, that's not Christian Yelich. Live from New York, Pete Davidson takes a little BP. The doppelganger for Yelly is in center field tonight. Yelich ready to take center stage. Down below, Preston Wilson. Press. Well, some problems with Preston's mic. However, I'm here to tell you it was a great batting practice. Christian Yelich taking batting practice, getting ready, and a surprise guest, Pete Davidson from Saturday Night Live. Here's how it went.
Mets are going down!
I'm done. That's all I wanted to do. Thank you very much. Yeah. Yeah. That's right. Yes. Oh, sorry, dude. That was a bad throw.
Guys, I'm here with Pete Davidson, Christian Yelich, who, as you can probably tell, could go for twins. Has anybody ever confused you for him before?
Not out in the streets or anything, but he was saying it too, that every night on Twitter there'll be 5, 6, 7 people that will be like, hey, do you know you look like Pete Davidson? And he'd get, you look like Christian Yelich. So we've been getting it for a while. It kind of blew up on intentional talk, and finally good to come out here and meet him.
How shocking was it for you to actually see him and realize how much you look alike?
It's kind of weird. Yeah, it was like if I was athletic like this, that's what it would be. Yeah, so it's kind of nice. It's nice that, I look like I play baseball.
And also, now that you've taken batting practice, do you have a newfound respect for how hard it is to hit a baseball?
Yeah, that's hard, and they're only throwing like 40 miles an hour. So, yeah, it's a lot harder than it looks. I don't know how people hit baseball.
All right, well, you can help Christian on the jokes, and he can help you with the swing.
Yeah, I'd appreciate that. Great term.
Separated at birth, Pete Davidson, he was a great sport and had a lot of fun. And Christian Yelich as well. All right, Marlins, Mets, New York City. Fish try to slow down the Mets Express. And it's a Twitter Tuesday in New York. And not Pete Davidson in the on-deck circle. He'll be hitting second. J.M. Lexus brings you the lineup. D. Gordon, leadoff spot. Martin Prado after Yelich. Justin Bour, Marcell Ozuna, Derek Dietrich. Dietrich against the Mets. A nice run this year. JT Realmuto with that hit streak at 10. Miguel Rojas still at short. And Tom Kohler in the 9 spot. Jacob deGrom. D. Gordon, center field, a base hit. It's not often you can't say that first pitch was brought to you by Pinch-A-Penny before it's in center field, but that's exactly what happened.
Well, you can say the first hit was brought to you by Pinch-A-Penny. But this is what the Marlins have to do against a guy like Jacob deGrom. Attack, attack, attack. Because that's what he does to the strike zone.
Yes, fastballs and lots of them. You can see deGrom's resume this year. Look at his numbers at the bottom there against the Marlins. 6 starts, an ERA of under 2, and he's not lost to Miami. And of course, a Florida guy, DeLand, Florida, Stetson University, a shortstop in college, converted to a pitcher. Mets scouts liked him, and what a great find he has been. Gordon's running on the pitch. Yelich is bunting, and he fouls it off. And I'm not sure if Yelich did not see Gordon running. Gordon's kind of looking into the dugout, wondering what's up.
I do not think, I would be surprised if a sacrifice bunt was in order. And so my guess would be Christian Yelich was just trying to drop down a base hit bunt.
And David Wright on the grass at third. The element of surprise gone. Gordon still has the speed to get the bag, though. It's 5 behind Billy Hamilton. And Yelich takes a strike. Dale Scott calling balls and strikes. C.B. Buckner, Lance Barrett, Dan Iasonia on the bases. Citi Field was one big party last night as the Mets beat the Marlins 4-3 in comeback fashion. And the Mets have been the comeback kids the last month and a half. Just about every one of the wins in this 8-game win streak, they've been down at one point. Yelich, little tapper, third base side, right on the move, just gets him. Mets defensively, brought to you by BMW.
We'll check in on the Mets as they line up. Michael Conforto in a brief time already has 5 assists. Cespedes moves over to play center tonight. Granderson and right. David Wright, Ruben Tejada, Daniel Murphy, Lucas Duda around the infield. Travis d'Arnaud right where he was last night.
So Gordon does reside at second. Martin Prado and then Justin Bour against deGrom.
There are a couple of things, Rich, that happen when you're a ball club playing the way the Mets are. All the late inning heroics. If you get down early in the game, it doesn't bother anybody because they realize they've been able to come back.
Gordon's running. Pitch is a strike, and he's out at third.
And the fans get into it just as much as the players.
Gordon caught stealing. And the 7-line Army quite happy out there in right center field.
Boy, d'Arnaud got a perfect pitch, came up and fired to David Wright. And it had to be done perfectly. There's the tag just before D's foot gets to the bag. That's the first time this year that D. Gordon has been caught stealing, trying to steal third.
Well, he singled on the first pitch, and you thought the Marlins were set up nicely for the inning. And as it is, there's 2 outs and nobody on. deGrom bends one. And it counts 1-2. Prado 0 for 3 last night. Not a lot of hits to go around last night. Logan Verrett, the rookie, getting the start. And when the bullpen took over for the Mets, Prado emergency swing, flips it foul. Nice play.
The thing about Jacob deGrom last year, Remember, he was the Rookie of the Year, but he actually started the season in AAA, had 7 starts, was 4-0, then came up and went 9-6. Threw 178 plus innings last year. So in this, which is a great topic of conversation around Met fans, he's at 176 innings right now and still going strong.
Prado gets that off the end of the bat. Tejada throws him out, and the Marlins are done in the first. And here come the Mets in a scoreless game. Let's go places by Vico Painting Contractors. For top quality work, excellent customer satisfaction, visit VicoPainting.com. By Checkers Epic Meals, Epic Deals. And by AutoNation, saving over 70,000 vehicles now. Visit us online at AutoNation.com. Marlins scoreless in the first, bottom of. Here come the Mets. Meet 'em, greet 'em, brought to you by JM Lexus. Curtis Granderson had a big pinch hit at bat last night. Yoenis Cespedes in the 2 spot. Daniel Murphy's at second. David Wright in the cleanup spot. Michael Conforto is starting left. Travis d'Arnaud, the catcher. Lucas Duda's at first. Ruben Tejada's at short. Jacob deGrom in the 9 spot. And here is Tom Kohler, an ERA just under 4. Kohler zips in a strike to open up the at-bat to Granderson.
All Tom Kohler has to look to are his last 2 starts. His last 2 starts, 1-0 and a 2.57 ERA, where we've seen him have command of all of his pitches.
And importantly, one of those 2 starts was against this ball club, the Mets, back down in Miami. And of course, his last time out, he equaled a career high 10 strikeouts. That was a win over Milwaukee. He's 1-2 on Granderson, who did not get the start last night. There's that line against the Brewers. But it was a really nice at bat by Granderson that helped that 7th inning along against Kyle Barraclough. He walked and got David Wright in position for an RBI double.
And by walking in that pinch hit role, allowed Granderson to have drawn a walk in 10 straight games.
Into left field, Granderson's aboard. Miami's defense tonight.
Brought to you by BMW. There it is. Dietrich's in left. Yelich is in center. Marcelo Zuna starts in right field. Prado, Rojas, D. Gordon, Justin Bohr, JT Real Muto behind the plate. You and I talked with Dan Jennings, asked him about Adeiny Hechavarria, and it still sounds like it's going to be a little while.
Yeah, he still has some tightness in that hamstring. Well, here is Cespedes. Even the 7-line army out there in right field is chanting MVP. And Kohler hits him. Cespedes glares out at Kohler, but he certainly isn't trying to hit him with a runner at first and nobody out.
Well, it's a situation that has really given Tom Kohler fits, and that's pitching against the Mets here in this ballpark. 2 starts this year in a little over 6 innings, 12 hits and 12 runs. You're right, he's not trying to hit Cespedes. The fastball just got away.
So here the Mets are, runners first and second, and Daniel Murphy is up. Kohler misses out. Real Muto lost control of the baseball. And in this ballpark, Tommy, as you pointed out, the lack of success, a lot of times he's been undone by a big inning.
So if there ever was an opportunity to try to stop that, and there you see his career numbers here at Citi Field. This is it right here in the first inning.
And he's going to have to settle down right now. He hit Cespedes. He's missed badly twice to Murphy. It doesn't get easier after that. David Wright, Michael Conforto, Travis d'Arnaud, Lucas Duda. This is such a thick Mets lineup. As Tommy pointed out last night, the bench that the Mets had in the ballgame deep as well.
And tonight their bench has Kelly Johnson, Michael Kadire, Juan Lagares, Juan Uribe.
Three and 0. There's Wright. Striking, it's 3-1. Murphy 27 at bats against Kohler. Just 6 hits, so he's not had great success. And neither has Wright.
Tom Kohler thinking about that double play ball here.
Jam shot, little dribbler. Gordon, backhand flip in time to get the out at second. And Rojas, I don't know if he was stepped on or twisted that foot, but he comes away limping. Cespedes did not slide. I think he was surprised that the flip went to second.
Yeah, I think he was. He anticipated, because that ball wasn't hit that sharply, he anticipated that D. Gordon would go to first base.
Let's see if he did step on his foot.
Yeah, the one that was on the bag.
So a fielder's choice, and now here's Wright, who blasted 2 balls to deep center, both doubles last night.
That's amazing. David Wright playing in his 177th game against the Marlins. 51 career doubles against Miami.
And the irony is, on a year where the Mets are headed back to the postseason, Wright wasn't on board for most of the season, but he's back. The 1-1. Actually, his lower back is what ailed him. And now that he's back and at third base, you can see, especially last night, starting to drive the ball to center, getting the legs under it. That power has always been there to center and to right center. We will start the flow of emails and tweets once we get through this first inning and things calm down. Although I have got a doozy of an email to open the night. Right field, Ozuna back, off the wall, and off Ozuna. Granderson will score. Murphy stops at third, and David Wright has another RBI double.
Well, you're absolutely right, Rich, in talking about getting that lower back strengthened and being able to drive the ball. 52 doubles now in his career against the Marlins. That's more than anybody's. Second is Jimmy Rollins on that list with 50. But there's that lower half, the torque. David Wright has always, when he's at his best, had power to the opposite field. He just missed a home run with that one.
So the Mets have a run, and here is Michael Conforto, the powerful rookie out of Oregon State. He also has made an impact on the Mets. A late season call up, seems to have produced from the very start. He does not look overmatched in the big leagues. 41 games, add 10 doubles to those numbers.
You're right about Conforto not looking overmatched for a guy who started this year in A-ball, went to Double-A, and here he is making an impact at this level.
Darno behind him, 368 on base, 536 slugging as well. Great numbers in the heat of a pennant race. Chuck Hernandez, Dan Jennings. Tom Kohler wobbling here in the first. Can he pull out of it? That's out, and they're loaded. And here comes Chuck Hernandez.
Well, and with all this, the pitch count is up and not a good split. Twice as many balls as strikes. He needs to get back in that rhythm we saw him in the last couple of starts.
Like to see, that last sequence, obviously with Hernandez out there, Real Muto, but D. Gordon hang on every word, and then he had the last words of encouragement. Rolf Kohler, the father of Tom. Hope you had a chance in that last homestand to see the 9/11 interview with Tom and Rolf.
That was a great piece. Nice surprise.
Yes. Here is Darno. Travis d'Arnaud, not healthy most of the year, but healthy right now, and he pops it up, and D. Gordon must have said to Tom Kohler, make him hit a pop-up to me, because the infield fly rule is called. Darno into the dugout already, and there's 2 outs.
Can't tell you how huge that was to get a guy who's been hot, hit a big home run last night. Darno still has a big hitter to deal with, but big to get out number 2.
Without question. And now Duda, who was a big number 2-1. Duda takes a strike.
How many times you see Tom Kohler drop that curveball in the way that last pitch was, and then all of a sudden that gets him back in a good groove.
no swing, says Dan Iasonia. Ball and a strike. Duda, the hulking slugger from USC. The Met of long ago, Dave Kingman, was from USC. Kingman, a Met among others. Fastball up in. Two and one. Bases filled with Mets, 2 outs. At the knees. Duda, coming off the disabled list, has yet to get going in September. Just 3 for 22. Another pop-up, and Rojas waves his arm and makes the catch, and Kohler escapes with just the 1 run. 1-0 Mets. One nothing. Mets on top. Twitters and emails and all of that. Tonight you can get a hold of us. Hashtag at Twitter Tuesday. FoxMarlins@gmail.com is our email address. At Fox Marlins for Twitter and Instagram. Preston Wilson is here as well. So if you have any Met-centric questions you want to lob Preston's way, of course, his father Mookie here. Preston grew up in and around this area back when the Big Shea was still standing. Justin Bohr. We're already inundated with more nickname emails for Justin Bohr. That 86 team is the team a lot of people are comparing this team to. Bohr dribbles that one into center field. The shift was on, but Bohr gets it through. Before our first email, let's scout Jacob deGrom.
Yeah, let's see what we have. He has a 3-pitch mix. He'll give you 3 quality pitches. Pounds the strike zone with a lot of quality pitches. And, yeah, a star at Stetson. Not as much as a shortstop, but started. Pitched out of the bullpen.
Marcel Ozuna, first email of the night is from Pura. Hi Tom, hi Rich. I have 2 nicknames for Justin Bohr, the Borinator or Borcules. My husband's son and I watch every televised Marlin game in Orlando.
Well, the Borinator just took care of the DeGrominator with a base hit.
Ian from New Jersey. 1-1. He's down low. Other Marlin doppelgangers, can you think of any? I think a good one is Tommy Hutton with a very young Larry King. Can you say collar?
I hope it's really young.
Oh, it is really young. Yes. Back when he was dating Katie Couric, if that makes you feel any better.
Hey, by the way, with Marcell Ozuna up there, he's in there. He's had a little success against DeGrom, 5 for 17. And my first tweet will be about Marcell Ozuna.
2-2. Outside corner. Down goes Ozuna.
Question is from Raul, and he wants to know, do you think the Marlins would trade Ozuna for a James Shields and then sign an outfielder like Cespedes or Upton? First of all, if the Mets don't re-sign Yoenis Cespedes, they might as well close down the franchise. So I think it'd be tough to sign him.
Yeah, I think you're right on that one. Now, they can re-sign him, and there's a wrinkle in that. Dietrich did not check his swing. It's a strike. Dietrich turns to Dale Scott, and the count is 0-1. When Cespedes signed his contract coming from Cuba, there was a clause in it that he would become a free agent faster than most after 5 years. Dietrich swings and misses. And so when the Mets traded for Cespedes, it was thought the Mets would not really have a shot at re-signing him. However, the Mets appealed to Major League Baseball, and Major League Baseball granted their appeal that they be treated like just any other team and have a chance to re-sign him. So the Mets have as much shot as any team in baseball does in signing Cespedes on the open market. Counts 1-2. Pitch is down low. We said it the outset of the telecast. As much hype as there's been around Matt Harvey, your game one start in the postseason, doesn't it have to be DeGrom with everything that he's done this year?
Well, I think it does, and I think you and I agree on this, because with DeGrom, you're not going to have to worry about, at least through 6-7 innings, pitches or innings. If it's Harvey, all of a sudden that's the news. So yeah, I would go with DeGrom. We'll see what the Mets do.
Does your game two starter have to be Bartolo Colon?
No, I mean, it depends on where you are. Syndergaard has pitched well here and not as well on the road.
So if you're on the road, who starts game two?
Maybe a Colon, maybe Harvey. Harvey's going to start sooner or later.
Dietrich foul tips it into the glove of d'Arnaud. Of course, it remains to be seen how effective Harvey is with these half starts over the next 2.5 weeks. Group tickets, 1-877 Marlins. Go to marlins.com/groups today. You can bring a family in for a celebration, networking event, fundraiser. Pick up a bunch of kids on your block and bring them to a ball game and treat them as a group.
So much of it, Rich, also depends on how you do in game one. You know, if it's against the Dodgers, you're going to see Kershaw, Greinke, Kershaw. So a lot of things factor into that decision.
What if you use Harvey as your super reliever, like Lincecum was a few years ago?
If you're worried about his arm, you're not going to bring him out of the bullpen. If you're worried about how he pitches, warming up, a lot different coming in from the bullpen.
All good points. JT Realmuto at the plate. Count 1-1. There is Bartolo. I think he's the secret weapon.
He'll keep him loose, too.
Little floater into right field. And Murphy makes the catch. 1-0. Mets. This copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the Marlins may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. Accounts and descriptions of the game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Miami Marlins or Pete Davidson. If you missed it on Marlins Live or at the start of our telecast, Pete Davidson of Saturday Night Live, doppelganger to Christian Yelich, showed up in a Yelich uniform, full uniform, and surprised everybody at team stretch, and then palled around with Yelich to the delight of most of the Marlins for a good hour. Got some swings in the cage, shagged some balls in center.
I think he was a great sport. Christian Yelich was a great sport, and so was Pete Davidson. I think he had a blast.
Yeah, it was fun to watch.
Yeah.
Ruben Tejada, Jacob deGrom, and then Curtis Granderson. Tom Kohler in that first inning gave up a run and narrowly escaped giving up more. He got Darno and Duda to pop out and end that inning. And let's see if Kohler can put it together from this point forward.
Andrea wants to know if we have a topic tonight. Nope, tonight's just freelance. Any direction you want to go.
All right, let's go in this direction. Celia. Do you know when Giancarlo Stanton is coming back?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that we're going to see Giancarlo Stanton in a game this weekend.
Rojas stops, throws, and gets him. That is bang, bang, and a terrific play by Miguel Rojas.
That's the one thing about Miguel Rojas playing for Adeiny Hechavarria. He plants there. You're not going to lose much defensively. Making his 12th start at short with Etch on the disabled list, or not able to play, just gets Tejada by a half a step. Great job.
Now DeGrom, and he takes down low. This is an email for Preston from Matt in Boca. Preston, who was the funniest guy that you ever played with in your long and successful Major League career?
I know who he's going to say, but I want to hear it.
The funniest guy I played with had to be Kevin Millar. There was no one who could keep something going around the clubhouse and in the dugout like Kevin Millar.
I have one for Preston. This is it's not a tweet or an email. I'm just going to ask you right now. As a kid, when you were hanging around at Shea with your dad, who was the Met player, other than your dad, that you really took a liking to, that really treated you well?
I really had a lot of fun with Dwight Gooden, Sid Fernandez, and believe it or not, Tim Tuffle. Those guys, for some reason, I always had fun around them. They would kind of take me under their wing and have me out on the field in the clubhouse. One of my favorite memories is doing a rain out. I got to play stickball, which basically was a broomstick handle and tape rolled into a ball with Dwight Gooden, Sid Fernandez, Ron Darling, and there was like a couple other guys, and we played a stickball game in the old Jets locker room in Shea.
Yeah, that's a good game right there.
Well, now we know that, and it's important to stay loose as a baseball team, but it's also important to stay loose as a broadcast unit. And of course, before the game, there you go. Little love, Lenny Harris.
Little love from all time.
Yeah, he was making sure they got that too. He wanted to come kiss my head, and I was trying to shoo him out of there, but he was pretty persistent.
You're like the Pope, sort of, without the ring. Here's the 1-1.
He's coming to the Garden.
He is, right.
Hey, by the way, in the meantime, Tom Kohler's kind of reestablished things. Come out, gotten a couple of quick outs.
Granderson to right. Ozuna has it at the wall. I don't know if he brought it back in, but he was up at the top when he made the catch. Marcell Ozuna to the very limit at the wall. Glove looked like it was right up against that yellow stripe at the top of the wall.
Well, either way, a tremendous play by Marcell Ozuna and a 1-2-3 inning for Tom Kohler. You got some nice defensive help. The play by Rojas, and now this one by Ozuna. Perfectly timed.
I thought you were going to say he got some nice help from that guy behind him who was bracing either for Ozuna to come over the fence or to make the catch. Did you see the guy?
Yeah, I don't think Ozuna got any help from him.
In the blue shirt, he had it lined up. Rojas into the seats. Every guy's got a guy. Ozuna's got a guy right behind him. He's got it lined up, Tommy. Look at him.
See, he's playing it as well as Ozuna, just like in the backyard. You know, Big Brother took it away from him.
That's right. He was there. He had good fundamentals.
I have a good question, a tweet from Chris. And actually, Preston can maybe get in on this, too. The question from Chris is, who do you think this year is having the better year as a leadoff hitter? D. Gordon or Curtis Granderson?
Rojas, a bouncer to short. Tejada takes care of that. Well, look, Gordon is challenging for a batting title and is challenging for a stolen base run. But you look at Granderson, and it's the theme that you and I have over that last Mets series and this one continued. There are a lot of hidden heroes here for the Mets, and this guy is one of them. From the leadoff spot, Granderson with a on-base percentage at .366 and a .455 slugging. You don't find that combination much in the leadoff spot. 23 homers, 30 doubles, and 87 runs. So I think if you just go by raw numbers, it's Granderson.
Preston?
I might have to agree. I think Granderson's total body of work that he's put together this year definitely puts him in a place where I think he's slightly above D. Gordon in that leadoff spot.
I'm going to throw this out there, and this is where a team can help. If D. Gordon had a healthy Giancarlo, D. Gordon has scored just 73 runs, yet he has an on-base percentage of .353, and he has 177 hits. He just hasn't gotten a lot of people to drive him in. D very well could have 100 runs scored if he played on a team that had the offense that the Mets have this year.
I'll say it another way. He should have 100 runs scored.
Yeah.
And by no fault of his own. And that obviously is the hope in 2016.
Here's an example of that in a smaller sample size. 17 games D. Gordon against the Mets this year. 29 for 72, hitting .403. He's only scored 7 runs against the Mets.
By no fault of his own.
By no fault of his own.
Kohler strikes out, and Gordon comes up.
You know, guys, it's interesting you talk about Granderson. I got to talk to him a little bit before the game, and he feels like he's finally healthy now. He said, I felt like over the last year or so I was trying to get my legs under me, and they just weren't there. He was trying cold tub therapy. He was trying stretching. He was trying weightlifting, and he just didn't have that strength, that pop in his legs that he's used to having. And this year, he said he feels like it's finally come back.
Well, it's chosen a great year to come back as the Mets, with a win last night, have won 8 straight. Strike from DeGrom. Gordon singled to the first pitch he saw in the first inning. 177 hits. That's a new career high. He had 176 last year as a Dodger. 0-2 is up. Barely. It's like it just clipped right at the letters. You saw Darno with the glove on the ground, wanting that pitch low.
Guys, to continue on Granderson, another thing that he's done, he's had to redefine his approach. In Yankee Stadium, he was pull because of that short porch over there. We saw him go the other way earlier. That's more of what he's been doing lately.
David Wright giving chase.
Quick tweet and a question about D. Gordon. Brandon wants to know, why don't the Marlins put D. Gordon in the outfield? He's fast. Well, the reason they don't is because he could win a Gold Glove at second base.
DeGrom strikes him out. Jacob DeGrom, 4 punch-outs. And right now in New York, it's the Mets with a 1-0 lead. Marlins, thank you, Kelly, for that. As the Fish and the Mets go at it here in New York. Cespedes takes a breaking ball up. Tom Kohler in the bottom of the third. That first, a bumpy ride, certainly for Kohler. Gave up a run on a double by David Wright. Hit a batter, walked a batter, and then a couple of pop outs, and all of a sudden Kohler's been able to put it in gear.
You know, there are a couple of things I look at back in that first inning. The pop up to Darno on one pitch. Then he made a couple of good pitches with the curveball to Duda and got him to pop up eventually. Was able to work to the bottom 2 hitters coming back in the second inning, and then got some nice defensive help from Rojas and Ozuna. Now he looks like he's in a nice groove.
Well, he's facing Cespedes. He hit Cespedes in the back pocket with a fastball. His career numbers against Kohler. Ball that Cespedes hit yesterday was a mammoth shot that just kept going up into that second level and left. That is strike 3, and Kohler spins a breaking ball to get the strike. Perfect pitch. Inside corner at the letters. Time to tweet your strongest fan photo. Hashtag it FL Data Strong Fan. It's brought to you by T-Mobile. And you might just show up in the upcoming telecast. Jerry Seinfeld's longtime Met fan. You're seeing more and more of those celebrities out here in this magical year.
His favorite new player now is Cespedes.
That's right, not Festivus, but Cespedes. Murphy fouls it back. Daniel Murphy out with a sore quad. Marlins didn't see him in the Miami series. Change up, Bohr to his right. And Justin Bohr hustles on over and gets Daniel Murphy.
7 in a row now retired by Tom Kohler.
Here is David Wright.
You know, it's interesting, Wright following Murphy. Murphy has 223 career doubles. That's third on the all-time Mets list. David Wright, well over 300. He's the leader. Number 2 on that list, Ed Kranepool. Always great to get an Ed Kranepool mention during a Met game.
Without question. On the ground, Prado gets the out. Tom Kohler, all of a sudden, has retired 8 straight. Christian Yelich had a visitor, Pete Davidson from Saturday Night Live. And that's how he gets ready. He got a little too much of the sunflower seeds down his throat there.
What up, dude? That's a good-looking jersey, dude. That's a good-looking jersey. What are you doing?
You know what? This is my thought on all that. Christian Yelich has not hit well in New York, here at Citi Field. He needed to relax. He needed a little fun before the game.
Takes a fastball up, and it's 2-0.
Yelich came into this game, 21 games at Citi Field, a 171 average. There it is. So he just needed to have a little fun out there during BP and get a base hit. That's all you need.
That's it. We need Pete Davidson to show up and goof around with us in the booth.
Yeah, but we have fun here all the time.
That's true.
We got such a great crew here.
We do, although I think you're lobbying for a free cookie. Is that what you're after?
Bobby and Mike and Gary, and we have our historian,
John Chimchuk.
Crack staff historian John Chimchuk is here.
That's right. We brought him
instead of texting me.
Here's Prado, and Prado takes in. Now, we try to time it in the land of emails and tweets. So if you get a player-specific tweet or email, you read it when he comes up. I've searched the entire bag for Martin Prado emails. I've got one, and it's from Beth. What's the deal with Martin Prado? Is he single, and does he like older women? That's all I got. That's all I got. I apologize to Martin, but at least Beth made the telecast. Truth be told, the reason you're thanking the crew here, you and the crew had a bit of a wager, the origins of which I'll not disclose, but Tommy bought the entire crew Shake Shack dinner last night.
Yeah, that's because I lost the wager.
And you can hear the slight round of applause.
It's a golf applause.
Yes, a golf clap in the booth for you. 3-0 to Prado. Suddenly DeGrom has fallen behind. Yelich not a big lead at first. DeGrom gets the strike. See,
here we are. Here.
Yeah. Shake Shack. He popped for Shake Shack. Pretty impressive. Big spender. Prado lines at center field, and it lands in front of Cespedes, who bare hands the ball and throws it in. Now, you can look at that two ways. That's a impressive athletic feat, and it also may not be the smartest of things.
Well, if this ball gets by him, it's a great bit of news for Marlins fans. So, yeah, really surprised.
But
he made it look easy.
However, it is an incredible feat, isn't it?
What he was thinking because it was a sinking line drive, maybe Christian Yelich didn't get a good jump. He might have a play at second base.
Now Bohr. Bohr takes a strike. It's not hard to find Bohr emails. They're still lobbing in as many Bohr nicknames as they can. We've had some Met fans sending some notes along. Bohr flips it foul, and it counts 0-2. This is from Craig. As a New Yorker living in Florida, I enjoy watching your telecast when they play the Mets. Feels weird watching the visiting telecast in your home ballpark. You gentlemen are a class act. Keep up the great work. You think that is Craig? Really? Our Craig?
Our Craig. Could be.
Yeah. That's a fair ball off the bat of Bohr, and it sneaks down into the corner. Yelich around third. He's going to score. Prado into third. Bohr's got himself a double. A two-hit night for Justin Bohr, and Miami has tied the game 1-1.
How about the two base hits tonight, too, from Justin Bohr? One a little right of second base in that area against the shift. This time he really goes against the shift. There's the fastball. Okay, you're going to give it to me out there? I'm going to take it right there. Super job by the big guy.
Now Marcell Ozuna, who was called out on strikes in the second. Among rookies, Bohr now at 55. DeGrom just off the plate. It's 1-0. Ball and a strike. Watch the Delta logo there. That's essentially a fabric that rolls up as they change sponsors and signs. One and two.
Tough AB right now for Marcell Ozuna with 2 strikes. There's that crack. Ozuna has struck out 96 times, 97 with his 1 in the 2nd inning. But he'd like to make contact here just to bring another run in.
Into center field. That's a base hit. It chases home Prado. Bohr turned and went back to second. And he'll hold third. And it's 2-1 Miami now.
Good job by Marcell Ozuna with 2 strikes on him. This is one of those balls you hit and it has a knuckling effect. Watch it come right back at you. It's wiggling all around. Bohr wants to make sure nobody catches it. Great job by Ozuna. And the Marlins pick up another run and still nobody out. T-Bone wants to know where I got the bike that I was riding in Central Park today.
Oh, did you tweet a...
Yeah, it's a nice... Right up on 59th Street, right off 6th. There's a nice little shop. They rent bikes there. People are very friendly. And it's close to the park.
Nice. Now Dietrich at the corners. Bohr at third, Ozuna at first, and a swing and a miss by Dietrich, who struck out in the 2nd. An email from Key West, Strawberry. I don't think it's Daryl, but good evening, Rich and Tommy. Great job as always when visiting Citi Field. Does Keith Hernandez leave boxes of Just for Men in the visitors' broadcast booth? Not that you fellas need it.
You know, we were talking to Keith about that the other day.
He had to bring the mustache back.
Yeah, he went stashless for a little while.
But in the new ad campaign, they needed a stash. So Keith complied.
Always nice to talk to Keith. He'll come in. We'll go into the Mets TV booth, talk about the clubs.
We saw Jerry Seinfeld here earlier, and of course, Hernandez, a star on the Seinfeld show.
If we want hitting questions answered, we'll talk to Keith. If we want pitching questions answered, we'll talk to Ron Darling. I don't think Ron's working tonight. Saw him last night.
Dietrich swings and misses. That breaking ball got down and in. And a strikeout for DeGrom, who's kind of in that same spot that Tom Kohler was, trying to figure out a way around a big inning. An escape. He's given up 2 on 4 hits.
I think one of the things he may have been told on the visit to the mound was use that curveball, use the breaking ball a little bit more.
Real Muto takes outside. Two 2-0. Got Rojas on deck. 2 hits last night and an RBI for Real Muto. He should get something good to swing at here. Not really. A slider or a cut fastball.
Probably the cut fastball because it was 90, and his forcing fastball a little bit more than that.
Towards the line, Bohr tags, Granderson catches, big man coming home, and he's going to score as Ozuna will hold first. And Real Muto delivers the run, and Miami stretches their lead to 3-1. Nicely done. Here comes Miguel Rojas. And a reminder, if you want access to the 2017 All-Star Game, you can guarantee it with a season ticket deposit for 2016. Just call 1-877-MARLINS or go to marlins.com/tickets.
Marlins, Rich, have really done a nice job here in this inning. The base hit by Bohr, the double. That was good hitting. Ozuna with 2 strikes. And the sac fly by JT Real Muto.
Rojas bounced to short. That was in the 3rd. Nathan from California wants to know, who do you think is the best umpire in Major League Baseball? Runner goes. Ozuna, good jump. Throw it out to second, and he is out. Daniel Murphy on the tag. A terrific throw and catch. Marlins will look at it on the video. Brett Butler talking to Pat Shine, who the Marlins have as their video coach. The tag was down, and he is out. So Miami settles for 3. And a dent in the armor of Jacob deGrom. Bishop 3-1 Toyota Trend, 8-game win streak. They've won 7 or more games in a row 4 times already this season. And Terry Collins admitting the other day when asked about was he surprised at the Mets' success, he said it's above and beyond the expectations they had for this ball club, and I don't think anyone would disagree. 83-61. A chance to get into the mid-90s and win. You can see Ozuna's forearms all barked up from this head-first slide. Ball beats him, gloves down, and it's hard there. I mean, it kind of looks like the hand beats him, but you can't tell if the glove got the thumb.
Yeah, the kind of backhand of the glove looked kind of like it fell down on his hand, but very close, not challenged.
Look at that forearm. People think that it's, there's not a lot of pain in baseball. That's not fun. The infield dirt is not soft. To get dirt that lays down and is good for ground balls, oftentimes it's rough, it's corrosive.
It's gravelly.
Yes.
I don't know if that's a word, but
it is when you're talking about James Earl Jones' voice. And Forto lifts one and fouls it off. All right, we have a technical question here. Technical to television. And it's from Jim, who's a Mets fan in Florida. He's watching the telecast by force. Since the Marlins black out MLB extra innings over the entire state, don't you guys think that's a little greedy? Especially since I live in Ocala. This is Jim, 350 miles away, and I can't hop in the car and go to a game. How about a little mercy on us fans down here outside of the South Florida area? Jim, I feel your pain. However, it's not the Marlins that black out. It's Major League Baseball. So right to Commissioner, right to Major League Baseball here in New York. There are fans in every state around this country who feel the wrath of that blackout rule. It is not the Marlins. It's not the Rays.
They talked about topic.
Heck, if you're living up in Buffalo and you wanted to watch the Marlins telecast on MLB Extra Innings, you'd be blacked out from that. So, anyways, we feel your pain. We're sorry that you're saddled with us by force, but we'll try to entertain you. Your ball club's hot, and we've had fun talking about him the last couple of nights.
Well, Tom Kohler is hot right now. 9 in a row. Some good pitches to strike out a tough hitter in Conforto.
It's amazing how this game flips, partner.
Yeah.
You think about where Kohler was in that first inning. There's his father, Rolf.
Rolf a little more relaxed now. Just a little.
After that right double to make it 1-0, a walk loaded the bags. And you had a hot hitter in d'Arnaud coming up. d'Arnaud popped to second. Then you had Duda, who's got power. He popped up. And just like that, Kohler was out of the inning. Little flare. Gordon! You can't get there. And it lands in front of Ozuna. And so d'Arnaud has a hit. Breaks that run by Kohler of 9 straights.
There's no question, playing a team that's playing as well as the Mets, you have to just keep pushing and pushing. But this goes back to what I said earlier, in all the games they've won from coming from behind. They're down 3-1. I guarantee everybody in their dugout's not worried at all.
No, only one other team in baseball this year has more come from behind wins than the Mets, who did it, as Tommy pointed out last night, 38 times. The Cardinals have 40 of them. To left, Dietrich at the track reaches up and makes the catch. I don't know, Tommy, but my guess would be if you're Derek Dietrich in the offseason, if you can go someplace and play 30, 40 games, winter ball, instructional league or something in left field or in the outfield, down to the Dominican or wherever you can, that certainly would be beneficial. Because and it's hard to do, learning how to play the position in the major leagues. We saw Chris Coghlan try to master it, and he did. Coghlan has. Now Coghlan has such versatility, he can play everywhere. And that's what you hope for with a guy like Derek Dietrich. He has the athleticism to do it. He just needs more work, it seems.
Could be fall ball. Could be instructional league. But somewhere, and I totally agree. Years ago, I don't know what the status is now, how the winter leagues in Dominican or in Venezuela, they would take a player, especially an established major league player, but in the case of Dietrich, that's not his situation. But if you were learning a new position, let's say you had 4 or 5 years in the big leagues, but if you were going down to learn how to play first base or learn how to play the outfield, they would welcome you.
Ruben Tejada, the hitter. And it's in. We didn't answer the question about who do you think is the best umpire in Major League Baseball.
Well, I think a lot of players vote on it, and there's usually a poll at the end of the year. I know Jim Joyce always ranks very highly. I know you and I agree on Vic Carapazza.
And it's almost all based on how a guy does calling balls and strikes, which, fair or unfair, is kind of how it's done, right? I mean, you don't base it on, he's a great second base umpire. Or sometimes you hear he's really good at bang plays at first.
Yeah, it's all based on home plate.
Preston, you got a name for us, a guy in the game right now you think's the best?
A lot of guys like Tim McClellan. He's usually pretty fair, he's pretty consistent. And as a base runner, I always paid attention who was good on the bases or not.
Liner in the left field. That's a base hit. Racing to the corner is Dietrich. Darno will stop at third. Nice job by Dietrich to get out of that tricky corner. Tejada has a double. There's 2 outs, and it's the pitcher, DeGrom, that comes up.
Boy, you got to get to this ball as quickly as possible. Derek Dietrich does that because if it gets into the corner, Darno is able to score. By cutting it off, getting it back into Rojas, second and third, but 2 out. Tom Kohler will deal with the pitcher, Jacob DeGrom.
DeGrom struck out back in the second. D. Gordon, and Kohler escapes. The Mets strand 2. They have left 5 in a 3-1 Miami lead. South Florida Chevy dealers today by Checkers, Epic Meals, Epic Deals. By Hotel Transylvania 2 in theaters September 25th, and by the Florida Department of Transportation, reminding you drive sober or get pulled over. New York City. (3-1) Miami on top. Emails and tweets, really good emails and tweets tonight. Keep it up, kids. Thanks for being along for the ride. 7-line Army.
They had a big group down, I think it was last year, at Marlins Park. Filling up a section down there on the first base side.
Hey, speaking of that, I just saw speaking of the 7-line, breaking ball, strike to Rojas. Watching the game at Citi Field, where subway and Long Island Rail brings you virtually to the doorstep of the ballpark. Makes me wonder. I'd love to go to a bunch of the games. I mean, this is Tony from Boca. If I didn't have to drive, do you think we'll ever get to the time where you'll be able to get from the doorstep of Marlins Park to Broward or Southern Palm Beach by public transportation? You can get close, but I'll grant you that, Tony. Can't get quite to the doorstep. There are shuttles, and I think, Tommy, we need to do that. I know we've talked about it. We need to jump on the rail line and head south and transfer on and see how that all works. So my guess is it's a lot easier than people think it is.
I thought we were going to take the Fox Sports Florida party bus.
That's the easy way out, though. Maybe we'll take that home. We'll ride the train down to see it. It would be great if if light rail actually got you right to the doorstep of Marlins Park. For now, though, it gets you darn close. And there are shuttles that run to and from that stop. Here's a 1-2. Busted bat. You can hear it up here. And a flip from Duda with DeGrom covering. South Florida Honda dealers, get you ready for Marlins Live pregame. It's tomorrow. Adam Conley, Bartolo Colon. Now, some of you may have thought I was nuts when I said after DeGrom starting game 1, I'm going with Bartolo Colon in game 2 because his numbers are somewhat pedestrian on the season. To right, off the bat of Kohler, hit well. Granderson's not going to get it. Over his head and off the wall. Tom Kohler muscles up, and he's got himself a double.
Tom Kohler, over his last 4 games now, is 4 for 7. He gave it the Justin Bohr. 4 for 7 in his last 4 games. And this time showing a little pop the opposite field. And I think really fooled Curtis Granderson, the right fielder.
This is as hot as we've ever seen Tom Kohler, Tommy Hutton, at the plate. He still is the second best hitter in his family. His wife, the softball star, probably has been giving him tips. There's a liner that's going to find right center field. Kohler to third to stop there. And D. Gordon lofts a base hit. And he arrives at first base.
Seems like every night D. Gordon has a multi-hit game. 51 on the year. Daniel Murphy, the second baseman, a little decoy. Tried to make believe he was going to catch that ball like he caught it and was going to double off Tom Kohler. But Tom Kohler not biting. He knew that ball was over the head of Murphy.
Here comes Yelich. Anyways, the reason I'm going with Colon in game 2, Tommy, is the run that he's had lately. He had that scoreless streak at 31.
He's as hot as DeGrom.
He has won 4 straight. So, yeah, I mean, I think that's, you had to start it today. Colon's my number 2.
He just had in his last outing, had a stretch of 31 consecutive scoreless innings broken.
Yelich had a base hit to right his last at bat. Yelich cracks that one into right center field. That one's going to the wall. Bounces off the top. D. Gordon is racing for third. He'll be stopped there as Yelich with an RBI double.
Find a happy place. Find Pete Davidson. Have some fun before the game.
Get Pete Davidson back out here tomorrow night.
Boy, this ball is stroked, hit well. DeGrom knew it. Yelich finding that gap in right center. So all of a sudden, with 1 out, the Marlins have put together 3 consecutive base hits.
Kohler helping himself. Gordon and Yelich following up. And a rocky night so far for Jacob DeGrom, last year's Rookie of the Year, and this year's part of a terrific rotation.
You know, the Marlins hit DeGrom pretty well in Miami. It was also a game against Tom Kohler. It was a game Kohler pitched well. But in his 6 innings, DeGrom gave up 9 hits and 3 runs. Got a no decision.
Martin Prado now is bounced out and singled. Yelich at second, Gordon at third, and the infield's in with 1 out. So a nice opportunity for Prado and the Fish. High fastball called strike.
For DeGrom, the 9 hits he's allowed tonight, that's the most he's allowed in any game at Citi Field.
65%, well above Major League average. Runner at third, less than 2 outs. Producing that run. Prado lifts that one left center field. Over for it is Conforto, makes the catch. That's D. Gordon at third, and Conforto smart enough not to throw home. He fires it to third. Sacrifice fly. Prado comes through. Second sac fly for Miami tonight. Real Muto had one in the fourth. And Miami with two here in the fifth.
They've really put together some nice at-bats in this one tonight. You can go up and down the line. The Real Muto sac fly, the Ozuna two-strike RBI base hit, Boers 2 hits. D. Gordon 2 hits, Yelich 2 hits. And Tom Kohler's opposite field double.
Now Justin Bour. Amy has a good email, wants to know, do you think Martin Prado, when his playing days are over, would make a good major league manager?
Yes, I think he would.
And if you're around Prado at all, and we heard this from Yankee people, Brave people, Diamondback people. Look at him right now. I mean, look at him talking with Real Muto, lecturing guys. He's
talking the game.
He is, and he's one of the smartest guys that you'll find in the big leagues in terms of baseball IQ, instincts. Justin Bour slaps it into center field. Yelich around third, coming home, throws offline, way offline. Bour hustling, but he can't quite get to second, and he's out. The run counts. Yelich crosses, and Miami has a real nice inning, adding 3 more. Justin Bour, 3 hits tonight. It starts with Tom Kohler, D. Gordon, Yelich with a double. And from there, 3 came in. Names in UFC face-off as coaches. Interim featherweight champion Conor McGregor. Uriah Faber join the all-new season of The Ultimate Fighter. The mayhem continues tomorrow only on Fox Sports 1. With the DeGrom wig out in center field, that hasn't helped. You see he's got the shirt, he's got the wig, or maybe that's not a wig. Tom Kohler.
By the way, Mitch tweets in, he goes from Boca, Tri-Rail to Metro Rail shuttle from Culmer Station to the ballpark.
Granderson is singled and flied out. All right, Tommy, I want you to take a couple deep breaths before I read this one. You good?
I'm good.
All right. Dear Tommy and Rich, my husband and I have been Marlin fans since the very first season. We have season tickets, and we go to as many games as possible.
That's good.
Unfortunately, Granderson is out. Kohler continues a nice run since that first inning. Unfortunately, when we can't go to a game, we are forced to listen to you guys. You are so pessimistic when it comes to calling the game. I understand that there hasn't been much to be positive about this season. But every night, no matter what team the Marlins play, you're always talking about the other team and how this one's a Marlin killer, and you give useless information about the other team's players. We have no interest in the other team's players, apparently. Instead, why not tell Marlin fans how many times the guy has struck out instead of how many times he's hit a home run or a grand slam in that situation? As announcers for the Marlins, you should call the game and give us more information about our team, the Marlins. I know you won't read this on TV, but I hope this makes some impact, because I'm not the only Marlins fan that feels that way. That's from frustrated fans. They would not put their name on there, but frustrated fans.
It's okay. They can have their opinion. I'm fine. I'm calm right now.
That's good. That's good. Fastball is up. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, the guy at the plate.
Now just tell me what we're supposed to talk about after you're losing 15 out of 17.
See, hold on here. If we were to call the game like frustrated fan would like, give me a shot of Cespedes, please. Well, here's Tom Kohler facing some guy, I don't know, like.
Yeah, he struck out last time up.
He's not very good.
Yeah.
Kohler should strike him out.
This guy's the talk of baseball.
I know. What are you supposed to do? Ignore him? Anyways, you know what? We appreciate your opinion. We're glad we could get your email in. And the average center fielder for the Mets fouls it back to the screen. I can't believe he even made contact with that, Tommy. Has this guy been doing anything lately?
You're trying. You're trying.
There's the 1-2. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Daniel Murphy's on deck. Two. Foul back out of play.
I think it's interesting, and this is my final thought on that. And it is great. You can have your opinion. We've been here a long time. If you listen to other broadcasts, I know you and I have a lot of respect for Keith Hernandez and Gary Cohen, who do the Mets games, who can be extremely critical of their team. Not so much this year. They got a good team this year.
Well, and
they can be pretty critical of other teams too.
Right, but in addition to that, they're very complimentary. I mean, you can hear Keith Hernandez on a nightly basis talk about Christian Yelich and how much he loves his swing, how much they love Jose Fernandez.
But couldn't believe how shallow he was playing last night, which he came into the booth and asked it.
Cespedes hits a fly ball out. All right, let's move on from there. Here's Daniel Murphy, a fine player from Jacksonville. We always await Jim's emails, which usually come midway through the ball game. And we'll have to wait until after Bohr makes a nice throw to Kohler, who's over covering, and Tom Kohler is through 5. How about this? Tom Kohler in New York beating the Mets right now, 6-1. party. Tommy Hutton, who you see at the watch party? Circle some people.
Someone asked, who is Kelly Sacco?
There's Kelly.
There she is over there. You hear us talk so much about Cassie, who helps us out at home. And, hey, there's one of our cameramen, Tim.
How about the sign, Tommy, right in the middle? Very nice.
This one right here?
That one right
A lot of friends, a lot of fans here we see, you and I, when we walk out of the ballpark.
there. Ken and Tape is in the back row there as well. That's the Carolina Ale House in Weston tonight. We are glad you're with us. Kelly will join us again later. Eric Goodell on the mound.
We had a tweet earlier, Rich. You might want to answer it. First of all, it said, where is Jess? And then, who is Kelly Sacco?
Kelly Sacco is the in-stadium host at Marlins Park. Very talented. And does a nice job of getting around the ballpark, doing interviews. Friend to Fox Sports Florida, friend to the show. Bouncer towards short. Tejada to first. And Marcelo Zuna is out. If you'd like to join us tonight in the Twitterverse and email land, you can do it at Fox Marlins on Twitter and Instagram. All right, Fish Family, exclusive loyalty program of Marlin fans. Bonus points. There's your code. It is Twitter Tuesday. Marlins.com/fishfamily. And your bonus code is Twitter Tuesday. Here's Dietrich. Fastball misses away. Ozuna out. So is Jacob deGrom. Marlins knocked deGrom out after he gives up 6 runs in 5 innings. Dietrich has struck out twice. He's happy to see deGrom out.
Yeah, he is. He did not have good swings, but most did against deGrom. Maxine has a question. Who do you think the Marlins will get as a big bat to back up Stanton in the offseason? As you probably know, best laid plans don't always work out. The Marlins did that in acquiring Michael Morse in the offseason. Didn't work out. So you would like to see that happen, and hopefully it will.
Here comes Real Muto. AJ with a missive from South Florida. Just enjoying the telecast tonight.
So's El Tipo in Orlando. How about this one? I never thought of this, Rich. Miami Sportsman. D. Gordon has as many multi-hit games as stolen bases.
That's amazing because he's got, what, 51 stolen bases?
Yeah.
Hey, Hut, remember the 2 brothers that got into it the other day? They were twins.
Yes.
One got a ball, the other didn't.
And then the other one eventually got one from Craig.
We got an email from the dad, Bill. Thanks for sending the ball down to my son on Sunday's game after they were fighting over a foul ball. Craig did a great interview, and it was a fun day at the ballpark for the family. Real Muto is out by less than a step. And Eric Goodell goes 1-2-3 with 3 ground ball outs. Watch party when we get back.
Watching my dad play, I love coming here and seeing all the posters and all the memorabilia from the magazines and the statues from when my dad played here. It's the most fun thing ever.
Really? So that's it? Not the concessions, not I mean, there's got to be something. How much trouble did you get in here? Was there ever a time where your dad had to take you to the holding cell or someplace to calm down?
There's a lot of security guards and a lot of personnel around this stadium that still remember me from about 10 years old. There was a gentleman named Dennis, and he remembers me forever. He comes up to me every time I come here, says hello, tells me how long he remembers me, how tall I was, and all of that. And it's really so heartwarming, and it's such a treat for me to be able to speak with him.
Preston, how about other kids? Any other kids of players that you hung with?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Davy Johnson had a daughter. We were about the same age. She was a lot of fun. Like, we'd run around the ballpark together. Wally Backman had a daughter that was running around the ballpark. So it was a bunch of us that were kind of around the age. There were some other kids that came later. George Foster ended up having some kids that I hung around with, became really close with. So it was a lot of fun. It was like a big fraternity of little ant farm kids around the ballpark.
Very nice. Tom Kohler into the sixth. David Wright, Michael Conforto, Travis d'Arnaud. And a breaking ball, 75 miles an hour, misses in. We apologize. Our center field camera has taken a hit, and we are working on it. So we go old school. This is how they used to televise baseball in the 50s and the 60s before they started that center field camera. We hope to get that camera back up and running soon. There you go. Fastball is a strike.
Boy, you look back at this game for Tom Kohler, and it all goes back to that first inning. And after he got a visit from Chuck Hernandez, his pitching coach, he made some good pitches. He was able to get d'Arnaud on a pop fly.
He loses David Wright. He trots down to first. Harry Coyle was the director that first put a camera in center field and shot from behind the pitcher into the batter. Of course, it was Coyle who had that great shot in the 75 World Series of Carlton Fisk. He had a camera in the Green Monster and told this guy to stay with Fisk, and it certainly paid off. Now, if that frustrated fan from Florida had their way, he wouldn't have. Don't show Fisk. Don't show Fisk.
I have to read this this tweet from at Willis92D. As a Met fan, you guys are enjoyable to listen to. Definitely favor Marlins, but not in an overbearing way. I enjoy it. There you go.
You know what? You're right, Tommy. Everyone has.
It's a subjective business.
Very much so. That one fouled at the plate. Francisco adds, huge Mets fan since the '89 season. The blackout games are actually fun with you guys. You pull for your team, but you're still neutral calling the game. Keep up the good work. And please have Pete Davidson on again.
Dave tweets in, he just says, you always leave us wanting more.
Oh,
look out.
Oh. It's, what is it? How much does a baseball cost in a sporting goods store? $7?
Yeah, less than 10.
10?
Yeah. But if you get the case, though, then it's a little more.
Goes down in value if you have us sign it. 1-2 to Conforto. Driven, poking, foul. Yeah, it's high-fiving out there in foul territory. Anonymous wants to know, did Tommy have to stand in line at Shake Shack? think he got a fast pass. That one into right field, hit well. Ozuna scoops it up. Wright stops at second, and the Mets have something going here in the 6th inning. Now, Tom Kohler has a 6-1 lead. But as we've talked about, and the Mets have shown, they have been coming from behind an awful lot this year. And in this 8-game win streak, it has become routine for the Mets to come from behind. And late runs, too. Last 8 games, 31 runs from the 7th inning on. Brian Ellington in the bullpen.
Yeah, they had a stretch of 7 consecutive games, scoring 3 or more runs 7th inning on.
Roller to short. Rojas. Gordon's turn. In time to get the double play. 6-4-3. Tom Kohler gets 2 enormous outs.
Boy, he has come up with some key pitches to get big outs. We talked about that first inning. And then to get d'Arnaud, and it was d'Arnaud each time. He got d'Arnaud in the first inning to pop up the first pitch he threw. Gets him here to hit in a 6-4-3 double play. Nicely turned and a good pitch.
To right and deep, but not deep enough. Ozuna is there, and he makes the catch. And Tom Kohler gets through that 6th and hangs on to a 6-1 lead. News, all information relating to Major League Baseball All-Star Game and the All-Star Week events to be held at Marlins Park in July of 2017. Go to marlins.com/ASG. That'll be a lot of fun in 2017. Tom Kohler's having fun tonight in New York.
How about the way he was able to work out of that first and second, nobody out. He threw 2 pitches and got out of the inning. One pitch, the 6-4-3 double play. The next pitch, the fly ball off the bat of Duda. And just like that, he gets ready to grab a bat and hit this inning.
Miguel Rojas, then Kohler, then D. Gordon. Gordon has 2 hits tonight. Rojas has bounced out a couple of times. I have a few more emails about Tri-Rail. We're talking about Tri-Rail to the ballpark. Rojas up the middle. It's off the glove of Tejada. It dies in shallow center. And it's going to be a base hit. So a hit for Rojas and a chance for Kohler to try to push him to second. This is from Scott. Guys, the problem isn't getting to a Marlins game by public transportation. It's getting home. The last Tri-Rail train heading north leaves the Metro Rail transfer station about 9 p.m. You'd have to find a bus to Broward and then a transfer to 2 or more buses to get home. So that's an issue. Stacy of South Palm Beach as well. There are no late trains going after night games. Well, that fastball went behind Kohler all the way to the bricks.
Could that have been for yeah, it's stupidity as far as retaliation, but you wonder when Tom Kohler hit Cespedes. You can't imagine a major league pitcher in a bunting situation missing that badly.
I think Dale Scott just warned both dugouts.
And I can see that. I understand that.
Travis d'Arnaud. Now Kohler steps out. He doesn't want to be around home plate when Goodell comes towards the plate. And Scott warning both dugouts. If he feels any pitcher throws at another hitter, it's an automatic ejection for the pitcher and for the manager.
I think a good move by Dale Scott.
Remember, Kohler got Cespedes in the back pocket, but that was in the first with a runner at first and nobody out. And so
Tom Kohler had a little extra on that swing, by the way.
And the fastball was in and he missed it. Gordon's on deck. Well, you would think he'd still want to bunt him to third, though. Kohler squares. Fastball up and in. And they count 1 and 2. Now, it's not unusual for a pitcher to throw when a guy squares and bunts inside. Kohler stepping out and looking down to Lenny Harris. See if he's swinging away. He squares. Breaking ball, strike 3 called. So Kohler strikes out, and D. Gordon comes up. Geico moment, Marlin moment. Mike Lowell, hidden ball trick. He did it, what, twice? This was in 2004. Retired Brian Schneider in the 4th inning, who is now managing in the Marlins system, teaching players how to do the hidden ball trick. Goodell comes out. You've got Yelich, the lefty, coming up, and a lefty's coming out of the pen. West Kendall Toyota called to the bullpen.
fastballs, one behind him, one up and in. Benches were warned.
I think Dale Scott just reminded O'Flaherty that. Went out about halfway to the mound and said something to him. By the way, in Philadelphia tonight, it's a two-man show. The Nationals are up 4-0 against the Phillies. Kelly Johnson comes in to play second. Bryce Harper is 3 for 3 with 2 home runs and 4 RBIs. Whew. Steven Strasburg has gone 7 innings, given up 1 hit, and has 13 strikeouts.
Gordon fouls it off. So you got the lefties in Gordon, Yelich, O'Flaherty, who I was reminded by a few fans last night when I said he had trouble getting lefties out this year, that he's had trouble getting righties out as well as lefties out. He's not had the greatest of seasons with the Mets. Gordon a couple hits, but as Tommy pointed out, Harper a big night as well. It's going to be tough to chase him down.
We had a tweet earlier asking about our choices for National League and American League MVP. Josh Donaldson, American League, without question. And Bryce Harper, National League.
Gordon takes away. Well, I mean, you had the polar opposites in this game, didn't you, from the start? DeGrom, who's had such great success against the Marlins in 6 starts, had not lost to him. His ERA under 2. Gordon a liner into right center field. That's a hit. Rojas a late start. He'll get to third, and he'll hold there. He had to hold. That was so close with Johnson getting up. And D. Gordon's got 3 hits.
Very similar to his last base hit. Kind of reached out, was fooled, hit the ball a little bit on the end of the bat, maybe hit it with one hand, and got this one over the head of Kelly Johnson. Rojas has to hold, and then motors over to third.
So a 3 for 4 night for Gordon. And now here is Yelich. And the other opposite from DeGrom, who hadn't lost in 6 starts, is Kohler, who in his career against the Mets in 13 starts was 1-5. As you pointed out, in this ballpark, it's been a house of horrors for him. But here's Kohler, who's outpitched DeGrom, and the Marlins leading the Mets 6-1.
And D. Gordon now with 179 base hits on the year.
Runner goes. Yelich rolls it towards second. Rojas breaking to the plate. Johnson to first. And the Marlins chase home another run at 7-1. Yelich his second RBI of the night.
Don't know if it would have been a double play, but good to have D. Gordon on the move, and it erased that idea from the mind of Kelly Johnson.
We had, and I can't find it right now, we had an intentional walk email earlier saying, in order to speed up the game, would you eliminate the intentional walk of throwing 4 wide ones and just say, hey, intentional walk, take your base? Would you be up for that?
I'd be up for not using 8 relievers in a game to help speed up the game. How about that?
Okay. Well, but
no, because there's always something that could happen. They could throw it back to the screen. We saw Miguel Cabrera get a big hit in Baltimore a few years ago.
We saw Steve Cishek in Seattle like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yes.
Lose a game on a wild pitch on an intentional walk.
So no, I'm not in favor of that idea. I don't think it would speed the game up that much anyway.
Duly noted. We'll put that in the minutes.
All right.
In fact, if you miss another game, I just need you to sign the proxy. Gordon's at second. Crowd is at first, and Bohr is 3 for 3. Chuck from Tallahassee. Just a hello. Chuck, a big baseball fan. Also a big college basketball fan. Says that the heck with Tri-Rail. He'll stay in Tallahassee and watch Marlins baseball on Fox Sports Florida.
I like Armando's tweet. He goes, I'll watch you dudes before watching Hall of Famer Vin Scully. So you guys open the show for Vinny.
You know,
we're proud to open the show for Vinny.
Open the show. Vinny's the headliner.
Yeah.
We're like the opening act that we get to put like a drum kit and get like one amp up there with a guitar, while Vinny's got the orchestra and everything behind us.
And then we open up the violin kit for change.
Fastball misses into Bohr. And it's 3-1. Flaherty in to face all the lefties. Gave up the hit to Gordon. The ground ball out to Yelich. Ozuna's on deck. There's a right-hander in the pen.
Dustin Bohr, by the way, with his 3 hits tonight. It's the 5th time this year he's had a 3-hit game. Trying to have a 4-hit game for the first time in his career.
Runners on the move. Bohr strikes out. Inning is over. But Miami adds a run. And the Fish, in the 7th inning stretch in New York, have a 7-1 lead. Run car scoots by with tomorrow's starters. Adam Conley for Miami. Bartolo Colon, who's been working on his behind-the-back flip when running across the first base line. And he'll have that tomorrow night. We'll have that tomorrow night. We check in down below. Preston Wilson is with us. Press, your impressions on the game tonight, especially Tom Kohler.
Well, guys, I've really seen Tom Kohler settle in. After the double to David Wright and then a walk to Conforto, he got Travis d'Arnaud to pop up on that first pitch, went on to retire 9 in a row, and has really been great ever since then. He's established his fastball early in the count, which allowed him to save that breaking ball for put-away pitches with 2 strikes and later on, and he's been everything the Marlins need tonight.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch, hasn't it? Especially with his history in this ballpark, and really a nice chance to erase it against maybe the hottest Met team he's ever faced in this ballpark. A team that's won 8 in a row, firing on all cylinders. A team that's bringing back memories of 1986. Ruben Tejada, Kelly Johnson, and Curtis Granderson. Kohler misses out with a fastball.
Another reason why this game is great as well is because Tom Kohler said that one of the most important people that actually gets to watch him play here when he comes to pitch in New York is his grandmother. She's a little bit older, can't travel, so he really takes it as a special moment when he can pitch here and she can see him.
Bouncer wide of third.
And you never know, maybe a little extra pressure. He, over the last couple of years, has put on himself, pitching in front of family, but I tell you what, he's erased all that tonight, and he has been outstanding.
Fastball up. One of the sweetest wins I think he had this year was beating the Yankees. Remember, he was born in the Bronx. And so not only having to watch the Mets, but also I would expect to cheer for the Yankees. 7 innings, 3 hits, and a run. He beat the Yankees back in mid-June. And he misses to Tejada, who's aboard.
Well, he has a chance, a real good chance tonight to pick up his 10th win. And remember, last year, Tom Kohler was 10-10 with an ERA of 3.81. Right now, 9-13, but if he wins his 10th game, his ERA will be in that same area.
They started the night at 3.99. There's your Mets box score. Wright had the RBI double in the first. We even got an email from Mr. Met. Mike Dunn in the bullpen. And he misses outside. Realmuto out. Chuck Hernandez out. All right, Mr. Met, this is a little late because I know DeGrom is gone, but it deals with Stetson and Florida State. So we tie it all together to make everybody in the state of Florida happy, even those up in Ocala. Sorry.
Rich, let it go.
I know. This is from Mr. Met. Jacob DeGrom's pitching coach at Stetson was Chris Roberts of Florida State. Roberts was the 18th overall player taken in '92 by, ironically, the Mets. And also within 2 seasons after DeGrom was drafted, 4 other Stetson pitchers were drafted into Major League Baseball. So that's a nice little...
well, you had last year's American League Cy Young winner, Corey Kluber, out of Stetson.
Mary Ann wants to know, will Jose start in D.C. this weekend?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. I would imagine either Thursday or Friday. The Marlins have yet to set their rotation for that 4-game series.
Two one. And it's out. And so Kohler right now kind of at a crossroads in this start. He does have a big lead, 7-1.
If he is not able to get Kelly Johnson here, I think this will be his last hitter.
It's a
Mike Dunn ready.
It's a guy that takes pride in trying to finish what he starts and get as deep as he can. That's a strike.
Well, remember that last start against Milwaukee, it tied a career high 8 innings.
Fans reacting to Johnson's reaction, but it is a strike. At plenty of the plate, and it was just under the letters. And that one's out. So a pair of walks to open up the 7th, and we'll see how the Marlins play it. Dan Jennings waiting for, I would expect, the high sign. Dan Jennings on his way out, and so Tom Kohler will exit here. And you can see he's frustrated. He's not a guy that's satisfied with 6. He's going to need some help from his bullpen to finish the night. but he does leave with a 7-1 lead. And you can see Kohler mouthing, "My bad." His father likes it. Tom Kohler leaves with a 7-1 lead. A West Kendall Toyota call to the pen. (9/11). Last week on the anniversary, Tom was talking about his father to our pregame show when his father surprised him, our Randi Vision Cam.
Hey, what are you talking about? What are you doing here, man? What the hell? How you doing? You guys, how'd you know this? The rest of the crew's right there, man. What the hell?
The whole Kohler family was in on it.
That is a great surprise. Wonderful moment.
It will be a wonderful moment for Tom if the Marlins pen can deliver the win here at Citi Field. There's a ways to go. They need 9 outs. Granderson, Cespedes, and Murphy. And Mike Dunn misses up with a fastball. There's enough firepower in this Mets lineup from top to bottom that if you load them up and walk some people, the game can change in a heartbeat. Two and 0. That's a strike. Well, pitch 2 was a ball, and it looked like it was in. Pitch 3 caught the plate, and it looks like it lives right near the letters.
Yeah, right at the top.
2-1. Cespedes on deck. Tejada and Johnson walked. And down goes Granderson.
Boy, that was just some good old fastballs after falling behind 2-0. Mike Dunn zeroed it in, got in the strike zone, and struck out a hot hitter. Now he has to face a hotter hitter.
Cespedes. And done. That's as big a swing as you can take right there.
That's some power against power. 96-mile-an-hour fastball and powerful swing.
One for two, the one a homer.
Last 3 times out for Mike Dunn. Very good. Just 1 hit. No runs.
One and two. Slider from Dunn. Got Murphy up next. Tommy's been talking about Bryce Harper's big night. And while the magic number is down to 10 for the Mets, the Nationals are shutting out the Phillies in the ninth, 4-0. Whew. Just threw it by him, 96. Cespedes trying to hit it to the third deck.
More power against a powerful swing. So Mike Dunn, he's mixed in a couple of sliders, but the fastball has been live and successful. Here it comes. Good heat. Cespedes doesn't get it.
Dunn bounces one to Murphy, who's 0 for 3. So if the Nationals beat the Phillies, it looks like they're well on their way to doing it, and the Marlins hold on here against the Mets, the magic number stays at 10, and the Nationals would be 8.5 back. You can't say the Nationals didn't have their opportunities. In fact, Jason Worth said that today, that this season, you see Parnell and Robles, this season for the Nationals is a case of missed opportunities. One and one to Murphy. It's 1 and 2. And, you know, he's right. The Nationals had the Mets in D.C. It was a 4-game lead. The Nationals, had they swept, could draw within 1 if they simply took 2 or 3. They could cut it to 4, and they could cut it to 3. They had leads in those games, and their bullpen deteriorated.
They very easily could have won all those 3 games as opposed to losing all 3.
1 and 2. Oh, Mike Dunn.
What a job.
95 miles an hour. Remember, he came in with runners first and second and nobody out. And he leaves with runners first and second, and he strikes out the side. First Granderson, then Cespedes, and finally Murphy. and a nice roll as of late. And this is as good as you've seen him throw in a while. He blows away Granderson, Cespedes, and Murphy.
And you're talking about three quality hitters, three hitters who have been swinging the bat well and coming in a situation with a couple of men on base. Enough of the slider to keep them honest, and then the fastball was extremely live.
If you had fun at the watch party or watching the watch party tonight, got another one coming up. Jimmy Johnson's Big Chill. That's in Key Largo. Why can't we go to Key Largo for a watch party? Prizes, tickets, autographed memorabilia. Bailey and the Energy team will be there. And it's Friday against the Nationals. Marlins.com. I think the Corona ladies will be there as well. Bobby Parnell.
He will not be there.
Bobby Parnell?
No, but he is here right now.
Ozuna sends one to center. Cespedes back. And he makes the catch. The hitting heroes for the Marlins, in case you're just dropping by. Well, D. Gordon has 3 hits. Christian Yelich, 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Justin Bour, 3 hits. He's driven in 2. And how about Tom Kohler with a double, helping himself in a 3-run inning in the 5th.
How about the top 4 hitters in the lineup tonight? There's one of them. Top 4 hitters, 9 for 14 with 5 RBIs and 5 runs scored.
Dietrich trying to get in the score sheet with a hit. And he lifts that one into the seats. All right, emails and tweets. What do we got? Anything of note? That one back to the screen. Rich and Tommy, this is from Corey. If you guys were playing today, what would your walkout song be?
Oh, I've thought about that. I don't know. I mean, I'm a Bruce fan, so maybe a Springsteen, but you don't hear many Springsteen walk-up songs.
So the little old lady from Pasadena is out.
Yeah, that would be out. Yeah,
even though that's your hometown.
Right now, the appropriate one would be Glory Days by the Boss.
And from West Bird Road. Just wondering, when watching Marlin home games, I hear what sounds like aluminum bats hitting the ground. Do TV production crews such as yours, the crack staff, use sound effects?
Sometimes that's the lead weight.
It's the on-deck circle.
On the on-deck circle, yeah.
The mics, the Parab mics that pick up plate sound. The Mets actually have little houses for them built into the brick wall. There you go. There they are. That's a little house that holds the mic. Well, in Marlins Park, they're close to the on-deck circle, so you hear players standing in the on-deck circle swinging weighted bats. Some of the bats or devices they have a little bit of a click to them, and then when they drop them on the ground, that's probably what you're hearing. Dietrich's aboard. And here's Real Muto. He's trying to extend a hit streak to 11. He's 0 for 2. Has a sacrifice fly.
Yeah, this could be his last shot. Tied with Charles Johnson for the rookie record for a catcher for a Marlin.
Bouncer to short. Tejada. Johnson. Quick turn on a hop. Murphy's got it. And the Mets turn a 6-4-3 double play. night for Yelich. First, the visit from Saturday Night Live's Pete Davidson.
This is weird.
I can't believe how much they look alike. Warren Henry drives the game, and Yelich responds with a couple of hits, a single and a double. He also knocked in a run with a ground out, so he's got 2 hits and 2 RBIs.
You and I, before the game, before we saw his lookalike, Pete Davidson, with Brian Morris getting ready, we thought, they might look alike, but, sometimes that'll happen and the other person shows up and they're 4 or 5 inches shorter. They're, different size, but they were very similar. Obviously a lot thinner was Pete Davidson, very similar in height.
So you know what the next step is, Tommy? The next step is Yelich in the audience of a Saturday Night Live show. And they show Yelich as Pete Davidson's
love to see that
doppelganger, right?
Oh, love to see that.
You got to turn the tables that way. Ozuna's in center. You saw Yelich running to left.
Quick, somebody call Lorne Michaels right now. Get Lorne on the phone.
David Wright fouls it at the plate. Here they are, is what you were talking about.
Yeah, look at that.
Did he get it?
Now they're both left-handed hitters, but Davidson throws left-handed.
Brian Morse facing David Wright. Pitch misses up. Tom Kohler, magnificent through 6.
What a nice outing, by the way. Brian Morse had his last time out against Washington. 2 innings. Didn't give up a hit and had 3 strikeouts.
Lorne Michaels and Jimmy Fallon at the Marlins Yankees game earlier this year. Jerry Seinfeld here tonight. That's going to be, you know what? If the Mets play the Dodgers, it will be the battle of the celebrities, right? In Dodger Stadium, there'll be a ton of them.
They'll all be out.
Here at Citi Field, they'll all be out. And the Subway Series this weekend. Two.
The Yankees, by the way, still in St. Pete, taking on the Rays. Tampa with a 4-3 lead in the 7th. But that doesn't mean a lot. The Yankees scored 4 last night in the 9th.
This is for Tommy and for Preston. From Matt in Boca. Do you guys have the Lastings Millage rap album on your iPod?
I do not. I don't know about Preston.
What album is that?
Lastings Millage. He was a Met.
He was a Met.
Yeah.
That I do not have. No.
He apparently has.
Oh, thank goodness, Preston.
All right. Well, that begs the question. All right. Look, I can take this another step further. Preston, what is on your iPod? Tommy, what's on your iPod? Or your phone? Nobody has iPods anymore, but your iPhone. What music you got?
Well, I got a little bit of everything. I got some Miguel going right now. I keep a little Kanye and Jay-Z in there. Outkast is always in there. Got to mix it up a little bit.
What's the most surprising song there? Here's the 3-2 pitch. It's fouled into the seats. What song would someone be surprised that you have that you listen to every now and again?
I would probably have to say some of the older rock stuff, like Billy Idol. I like some of that stuff. I have to admit it. And there's this song by a group called Big Country, and it's like this old song, and they're going through, and I don't even know how the melody goes, but for some reason that song gets me pumped up.
Nice. All right, 3-2, and then we go to Tommy for this. It's Outside, Wright has walked. And Conforto comes up. Hutt, what's
well, you know, Jackson Brown, Bruce Springsteen, Bob Dylan, you know, in that era, and then just some good old rock, some AC/DC.
What's the most surprising tune?
I have to think about that.
Well, I got one for you, Rich. Eric Clapton. I got a lot of Eric Clapton.
I got some Eric Clapton. Yeah.
That Layla, boy. Woo. It's a song.
Little Traveling Wilburys.
Let's see. Look,
got a little of that.
Matt in Boca, see what you started. Nice question. Conforto fouls it, and it's 0-1.
And the Black Keys. My favorite song of theirs is "Tighten Up" by the Black Keys.
Very nice. Very nice. Good emails tonight. Good tweets tonight.
See, on the other hand, I could throw in a little Pearl Jam, a little Sam Smith, to get real current.
Hall in
I'm
West.
not totally out of it.
Hall in West Palm Beach wants to know what exactly is the umpire's warning and what are the rules?
Good question.
Behind it and the meaning behind it. Well, if the umpire feels that it's used as a preventative method for an umpire trying to prevent a beanball war. If an umpire feels that someone's about to get thrown at or someone has come up and in and there might be retaliation, he'll issue a warning to both benches. That's off the glove of Gore. It bangs off the rail. Ichiro picks it up. And the Mets have runners at second and third with nobody out. We're in the 8th inning. Michael Conforto with a double. He's got 2 hits tonight. He's 2 for 3.
Yeah, I think you can see why Met fans are excited about Conforto watching him swing the bat. This ball is stung. And when you're holding a runner that way, ball gets by in a hurry. You saw how quickly that ball got by Justin Bour. Might have just ticked his glove. And that allowed David Wright to get over to third. But Ryan Morris has a little jam to work out.
Yeah, Conforto's swinging it well tonight. The son of a Penn State football star and an Olympic swimmer. His mother, the Olympic swimmer. I say synchronized swimming, actually. Travis d'Arnaud. And the first pitch from Morris. And it's fouled back. So the umpire issues a warning, and that means from that point forward, if he feels that anybody throws at anybody, it's an automatic ejection by his discretion of the pitcher, and that also ejects the manager of that team. Now, it doesn't always stop guys from getting hit, but it helps. Bouncer towards short. Rojas gets around it, has it, and fires to first. As well, an umpire doesn't need to have issued a warning to eject a pitcher for throwing at someone if he thinks that it's blatant and he's throwing at it. So
a lot of it, unfortunately, is in the umpire's hands. It's in their judgment, and they have to make that call as to whether or not they think the pitcher was actually throwing at the hitter.
Andrea sends a tweet. There is a project to extend tri-rail service from downtown and also the Metro Mover from Brickell to Marlins Park. So let's hope, Tommy, that as things evolve, so does. It really would be nice to have that for the All-Star game, wouldn't it?
Oh, it'd be tremendous.
Hope things keep evolving along those lines. Neuenhuis sends one down into that corner. Yelich. And the large gentleman on the end of the row ends up with the ball. I think it touched about 3 or 4 people's hands before it got to him. As promised, Data Strong fan photo of the game. There they are, and that's from Gina. Looks like a group of fans. Nicely done. Good pitch by Morris. Off speed for a strike. And it's 1-2. We even got a tweet from Joseph Gormley, the very talented
one of our favorites
artist who has so generously donated his work to
I love people with passion, and he has passion.
Fantasy Auction. His work is really good. Go to his website, josephgormley.com. Gormley. Pitch down low. El Tipo. Sounds like the Fish might be playing in Puerto Rico next year. Name the one place you guys would really like to call a game that you haven't been able to.
I'd like to see the Marlins play a game in Europe.
2-2 to Neuenhuis. And Neuenhuis swings and misses and strikes out. Now, you've been to Europe. I've been to Europe, but not as extensively as you. So, in your travels through Europe, Tommy, where would be a
well? I don't know if they
optimal
could.
spot?
I don't know if they could put together a
on the
ball,
French Riviera. I don't think that's going to happen.
a ball field in Italy. That would be nice. Maybe somewhere in London.
I have been to Amsterdam a couple times.
Yeah, but you're always there working. You're not there on vacation.
NFL Europe. Well, we were able to.
I go on vacation. You go to work.
We were able to have some fun there, especially Amsterdam, Tommy. And that's a great baseball area with the Netherlands success.
You have Kirk Vandenberg throughout the first pitch.
Maybe he'll drop the Holland hammer on you. Breaking ball, a strike to Ruben Tejada.
But I know just about every ballpark in both leagues now we've called games in, so
they've had Major League Baseball regular season games in Japan, in Hawaii, in Mexico, in Australia.
We may be in Puerto Rico again.
Cuba is another possibility. Brian Morse got a couple outs. Mets have a run here in the 8th on an email and Twitter Tuesday. Fouled at the plate. Mark has got some player personnel questions, Tommy Hutton. I'll fire them at you. Do you think Justin Bohr is a 30 to 40 home run guy? Does he remind you of a young Ryan Klesko?
Boy, no, he doesn't remind me of a Ryan Klesko. He actually reminds me a little bit of a Lucas Duda. So I think there is that possibility if he continues to progress the way he has this year.
Liner to center. Ozuna on a hop. And the Mets have another run. The lead is 7-3. Ruben Tejada.
Yeah, I read an article today in the New York Post, and they were talking about postseason for the Mets. Who's going to play short? Would it be Wilmer Flores? Would it be Ruben Tejada? Well, I'll say one thing. If the Mets played the Marlins, it would be Ruben Tejada with the way he swings the bat.
Kelly Johnson. Tejada the double and an RBI single and a walk tonight.
Ruben Tejada had a couple of bases clearing doubles this year. 7 RBIs against the Marlins this year, a .416 average.
Ethan wants to know, can you Take Me Out to the Ball Game on an organ?
Not on the organ, but could get by with it on the guitar.
That's right. You and Maury Wills in Vegas that one off season. 0-2 pitch to Johnson. Dixie wants to know if they come down from Palm Beach on Tri-Rail and they miss that last train, can they get a ride home from you?
Well, I would have to check with DVH and Bill on that.
Dave Van Horn, the Hall of Famer. Carpool partner. It's a green team. That one into right is hooking and it's foul. Admirable that you guys carpool from Palm Beach down to home games.
There is a Hall of Famer, Dave Van Horn, Glenn Geffner. Glenn getting excited about the upcoming Northwestern game this weekend.
Oh, 2. And he swings and misses at a high fastball. And so the Mets pick up a couple. But the Marlins get to the 9th up 7-3. And by Kubota. For more information or to find a participating dealer, go to FloridaKubotaDealers.com. Top of the Rock, where Lorne Michaels goes when he wants peace, tranquility, and a nice view. Miami up 7-3. Mets dip into their bullpen. Dario Alvarez. This was a Jacob deGrom start, and he lasted just 5 and gave up 6 runs.
And you mentioned it a couple of innings ago, Rich. It'll be the first time with this lead holding up. Could be the first time the Marlins defeat deGrom in 7 starts.
Miguel Rojas. First to face Alvarez. Got Ichiro in that 9 spot, so he's on deck. And then D. Gordon. Smoothie King has this for you, Hut. How do you feel about Cespedes for MVP? He's only played a third of the year for the Mets. Of course, Verlander won MVP, affecting 30 games.
Different. He's a pitcher, and I don't agree he should have won that either. I always think an everyday player should be the MVP.
All right, Cespedes for MVP.
Just not enough. Not enough games with the Mets. Plus, if you combine his overall numbers, Harper blows him away in those numbers. Not blows him away, but has better numbers because he's been there all year. If you combine Cespedes' numbers from American League, National League. But no, I mean, it's been a great run for him, and he's helped the Mets certainly the last month and a half, but just not enough. Not a good precedent to set either.
Eric says, I'm a fan of neither the Mets nor the Marlins. My objective opinion is that you guys run a fine telecast.
Well, it's not us. It's
true.
It's our crack staff, our producer, our director.
Into right field, the corner. Granderson there to make the catch. And by the way, a tip of the cap to our producer, John Sulser. Sulser, one of the masterminds behind getting Pete Davidson out here from Saturday Night Live.
And we always, every night, have a smooth director that just works from camera to camera.
Alex Buznego from the Marlins, also the guy that helped set it up with Pete Davidson's people. He has people. Christian Yelich has people, too.
He has more people after tonight, too.
Yeah, a lot of people had to sign off on it, and they did. And nice going. It was fun.
Yeah, it was good. And you know what? Christian Yelich had fun. He's had a nice night. Ichiro has a base hit.
Ichiro with a line drive in a center field for a hit. So Ichiro, nicely done on the Ichi meter, if you want to call it that. 2,932 hits.
And gets one off a left-hander, which he's hit lefties his whole career well.
So he's 3 behind Bonds. Frank Robinson is within reach. He's 11 away. Wee Willie Keeler probably would have to wait till next year.
Might have to wait till next year.
Who was smaller, Wee Willie Keeler or Rabbit Moranville?
Rabbit Moranville, I think we found out, about 5'5", 150.
Conforto introducing himself, making friends.
Yeah, we talked about...
well, Wee Willie Keeler couldn't be that big if his nickname was Wee Willie, right?
5'5", 155 was Rabbit Moranville.
Right, well,
or Walter James Vincent Moranville.
That means I've got to go and find Wee Willie Keeler. That ball, right center and deep. Oh, my God! D. Gordon muscles up and blasts one out of here. His 4th hit of the night. How about that? Remember, he had homered out of the park this year and in the park this year.
Boy, that's just fun to watch. D. Gordon hitting a ball out of the park. I mean, he got every bit of that. 3rd home run of the year, a 4-hit night. He's hit in 16 consecutive games against the Mets, and he has 180 base hits right now.
Off a lefty, too. Christian Yelich into center field. And Yelich has got his 3rd hit. So 3rd homer for Gordon. Third hit for Yelich. This is Gordon.
Fastball, belled high. Into the bullpen.
All right, you're going to have to go to baseballreference.com because on Wikipedia there's no height for Keeler. Alvarez with a runner at first. That's a balk as he caught a spike. When D. Gordon came in, remember Justin Bohr pounds his belly?
Yeah.
Bohr's the first one there to whack him in the head. That's good stuff. Terry Collins is out to see if Alvarez is okay. He did not deliver the pitch. It looked like he caught a spike and stumbled. Tim Stauffer is up. Ricky Bonas, the bullpen coach, down there as well, and he's coming out of the ballgame is Dario Alvarez.
For the Marlins with a real good chance to win their 10th game in their last 14.
West Kendall Toyota called to the bullpen. 9-3 Fish now in New York. Night Live's Pete Davidson, our HH Greg high def highlights.
Mets are going down.
We got a lot of tweets. Yeah. I'm done. That's all I wanted to do. Yes.
Now on Marlins Live, we'll also have an extended version of Yelich's double day, and of course Tom Kohler's terrific night. Kohler in line to win this ball game. That's all coming up with Craig Minervini and Carl Pavano after the ball game. It was fun because we had a chance with Pete Davidson being mic'd up. We had a chance to put the headsets on up here in the booth and just listen to him almost the entire batting practice. Chat up guys like Perry Hill out in the outfield shagging flies.
He was so excited when Yelich asked him if he wanted to get into the cage and take some swings. I mean, he thought that was just, and he swung and missed 2 or 3 times, but then that one ground ball, hey, that was it. That's all he wanted to do.
Now Yelich as well, as when he came out, the uniform started to stretch and they started to chat. Yelich asked him if he wanted to play catch, and someone ran in and got one of Yelich's gloves for him. As it turned out, he's a lefty. And so Mike Dunn, I believe it was Dunn that offered up one of his gloves from his locker.
Now Yelich, a lefty swinger, but a right-handed thrower.
O2 coming to Prado. Of course, the guy that helped facilitate a lot of it was Preston Wilson down there. Preston?
It was, they really needed to get him a glove. I couldn't have him out there playing catch with a right-hander's glove, trying to play catch like that. So I went into the clubhouse, and D. Gordon was by the batting cage, and I asked D, I said, D, will you go in the cage and ask one of the pitchers to see if they have a left-handed glove that Pete can borrow? And sure enough, as players are, they're always very nice. They got him a glove. I ran it back out to the field, and he was able to play catch.
I think now, and Preston, you were down there. We were watching on camera and up here in the booth. I think when he originally came out to stretch, I don't know that the players recognized who he was. They recognized that he looked like Yelich and that he had a Yelich jersey on, but they knew he wasn't Yelich. It took a while before word circulated that that's the guy from Saturday Night Live.
They did a great job of keeping it under wraps. But you're right, until they actually got out there and saw him, they didn't really recognize him. And then it took a few guys a little bit longer. But there are some real SNL fans on the Marlins, and as soon as they saw him, they knew exactly who he was.
So you can see players going, who is that guy? Yeah, I think the stretching routine didn't help him, nor did this with the sunflower seeds.
Justin Bohr, we're told, picked him out right away.
D. Gordon knew it. Prado takes a breaking ball for a strike. Martin Prado strikes out. Tim Stauffer got it. And here is Bohr.
You know, this is just symmetry how this all works. See the guys who had the most fun with it? D. Gordon was laughing the whole time. Obviously, Yelich did. Justin Bohr picked him out right away. Look at the night. Look at the night those three guys have had. Yelich with 3 hits.
Whoops, you know, you're not supposed to swallow those seeds.
Yeah, you're not supposed to swallow the shell.
It really is uncanny how much they look alike. And if you get them more than about 30 feet away from you, it's really hard to tell the difference.
Wasn't that amazing? That was amazing.
And, you know, Pete Davidson's, he's very 21. And for a cast member at Saturday Night Live, that is young.
He's really impressive. He's a really unique, funny, smart guy. And if you can impress Lorne Michaels when you're 21 years old, you've done something.
He had a bit part in Trainwreck movie I saw last weekend. This is how it all started. People on Twitter pointing out to both Davidson and to Yelich that they looked like each other. And I think they had communicated via Twitter to each other about that. Had a chance to meet. And I'm telling you, the next step is Yelich in the audience at Saturday Night Live. And Pete Davidson has said he'd like to work him into a show. Bohr battling here, count 2-2 with 2 outs. Pitches out. By the way, Tommy, after we got off the subject, Willie Keeler, who's known as Wee Willie, is actually a wee shorter than Rabbit Moranville. Keeler 5'4", Moranville 5'5".
So, yeah, a little smaller. Wade a little less, too. I think 140.
Same size as Cookie's good buddy, Freddie Patek, the former shortstop of the Royals. Bohr goes down on strikes. Marlins up here in New York, 9-3. Pete Davidson and Christian Yelich tonight.
You see that? You see that? I got a hit. Yo, it's hard. I'm gonna catch pop flies. I know.
7-3 win in New York, and even this series at a game apiece, and slow down the Mets Express, who had won 8 in a row coming into this ball game. Ellington arrives here, picks up for Brian Morris. This was a Tom Kohler start, and Kohler, who wobbled in that first inning, gave up a run. Bags were loaded. There was one out, and all of a sudden Kohler got out of it. 2 pop-ups, and he was sailing, and he got through 6.
Yeah, at one point, retired 9 straight. And as you pointed out earlier, Rich, you had 2 opposites. You had Jacob deGrom, who pitched so well against the Marlins, and you had Tom Kohler, who had struggled here at Citi Field.
Curtis Granderson, Yoenis Cespedes, and Daniel Murphy for the Mets. We will actually answer a few stragglers, emails and tweets on Marlins Live postgame. There is Cespedes. Mike Dunn struck out all 3 that he faced, and that helped bail Kohler out of the 7th inning. Mets got a couple runs off of Brian Morris in the 8th. And then Ellington, a leadoff walk to Granderson.
You know, believe it or not, that makes it 11 straight games that Granderson has drawn a walk.
He's had a terrific year. Postseason question, Alex from Miami. Loudest ballpark of all the playoff teams
this year?
Right, all the postseason
because in
teams.
years past, the loudest was the Metrodome.
Right, but postseason teams this year.
This year.
Of all the ballparks that they're playing in right now. So you're starting with Toronto. You got the Yankees in there. You got Kansas City.
You might have to start and end with Toronto.
Houston or Texas. And Toronto might be it.
Was it David Price when he made his first start as a Blue Jay? Said he never felt that from a crowd, never heard that from a crowd. It was tremendous.
Now you had a front row seat if the playoffs ended today. You had a front row seat when the Blue Jays were at their very
it's
top.
loud.
Back in 1993, you see that the last time.
It's loud.
92, 93, they were drawing well over 3. Did they ever get to 4 million there? Or was it always 3? Cespedes, center. Ozuna slides, and he got it. Marcell Ozuna robs Yoenis Cespedes with a terrific sliding catch in center field.
You do get the feeling, though, they'll be crazy in Chicago at Wrigley Field. Did he catch it or did he trap it?
Caught it. He caught it. And it's cleanly in the webbing.
Great job by Marcell Ozuna. And a really good landing.
Daniel Murphy. Pitch is out. Tommy Hutton in 1993. The Blue Jays drew 4 million fans. It was the 3rd consecutive year they drew 4 million.
They had sellouts just about, I forget how many years consecutive sellouts, and it's a big place.
Strike to Murphy. Foul back to the screen. A note from Amsterdam, from Rand. Amsterdam has quite a few Marlin fans now through the efforts of groups of artists in both cities, Miami and Amsterdam, working together. If the Fish ever want to play for an exhibition over here, a bunch of us artists are happy to help make that happen. Yikes. Dale Scott, JT Realmuto. Flipped by that. Good battle here. Ellington touching 100 with that fastball. This is a guy who had Tommy John surgery after his senior year in high school. He's told us that the velocity kind of came late to him. You can see all fastballs so far in his 12 pitches.
That's one thing that you look at, that when you look at the way the game is played now and the emphasis on bullpens, and you see the arms that the Marlins have in Ellington and Barraclough, the way they have really dazzled.
Popped up. Prado's got it.
So you throw in Mike Dunn. There are three guys right there who come out of the bullpen and are throwing 95 plus.
And David Wright now with 2 outs.
Yeah, to think way back this game started, Rich, David Wright gave the Mets a 1-0 lead with a double, his first AB in the bottom of the first inning.
Granderson's going to take second. Defensive indifference. The Rays beat the Yankees 6-3. Of course, if you're following the East, the Nationals tonight, winners, we beat the Phillies. To center, Ozuna is there. Ball game. Miami wins it 9-3. Really nice night for Tom Kohler, who wobbled early, straightened up, and then dominated through 6. D. Gordon with a homer. And a nice dance. Gordon with 4 hits. Christian Yelich with some help from Pete Davidson goes 3 for 5 and drives in 2. Justin Bour had 3 hits as well. Marlins Live is coming up. 9-3. Fish beat the Mets.